Today we're talking about the Insta360 GO Ultra. This is their newer action camera. It's been out for a few months now. I just want to talk about how I've been using this camera as a person who just kind of documents their life. I like to take these types of cameras with me on these trips because they're really easy to use, and this camera is no exception. Full transparency, real quick, Insta360 did send this to me in exchange for this video. They don't get to tell me what to say or what not to say, and there are things that I like about this, and there are definitely some things that I'm not a fan of, so I'm going to tell you about all of these. I just wanted to give you that information because you should always use your own judgment whenever you're looking into buying something like this. So we have two main components of this camera, right? We have the camera itself, and then we have the camera pod. So this camera pod, we have the flip out screen. I'm a huge fan of the screens that they put in these Insta360 cameras. Same thing with the Ace Pro. I was very impressed with the quality of it and also just like how intuitive the touch screen is. It's very easy to use. Flip out screen makes it ideal for vlogging because you can obviously see what you're doing here. This is what I primarily use this for, is vlogging or just random behind the scenes, just kind of documenting whatever I'm doing. And I've always enjoyed having that flip out screen. Now, the added benefit of being able to pull this away, and there's a magnet back here. There's a ton of accessories you can connect with this. I'll show you in a little bit. You can literally just connect it to anything magnetic. Now you can see us in the background. I can remotely record, I can stop it, I can change settings, all of that from the case itself. The fact that this camera can break away and just kind of attach to anything you need in such a small form factor is really what drew me to it. I like to grab clips wherever I can in just the easiest way possible, so the ability to just throw it wherever I want to throw it and get cool, unique shots is a big selling point for me. Now, battery life, pretty solid when you're using this thing. You get about 60 minutes of record time when recording 4K with just the camera alone. When it's in the case, you get about, I think, like 170 minutes. So it's quite a bit more because you have a battery here and then you have another battery that's in the case itself. It also charges incredibly fast. You have, let me pull up my notes, 0 to 80% in 12 minutes is what the camera charges to when you throw it back into the pod. And then when you're charging the pod, that also charges from 0 to 80% in 18 minutes. That's how fast it is. Very impressive. So typically I'll be recording with this, I'll throw it somewhere, and then when it dies, I can throw it back into the case, magnetizes right in, and then in a few minutes, I'm ready to go again. Both the batteries are internal. They don't have swappable batteries or anything like that. So if you want to keep this thing charged, make sure you bring like a portable battery with you with a USB-C cable so you can have this plugged in at all times. When it comes to the actual camera specs of this, you can shoot 4K up to 60 frames a second. With that new sensor, you can shoot in a 4:3 aspect ratio. So it's essentially more of a square video, and then you can kind of frame around that. It also shoots up to 50 megapixel raw photos. Since we have this larger sensor, there's a 2x zoom on here, which is essentially a digital zoom just cropping in on the sensor, but the results look great. The times that I did use this, I was pretty impressed with how it maintains the detail when it does crop in from that full sensor. It's of course a single lens camera, so you can only get so much when it comes to digitally zooming, but pretty impressive for what it is. Overall, the quality of this camera is very nice. I've always been impressed by the quality of these Insta360 cameras. There are a lot of AI features in this camera that just enhance the overall image, like active HDR, which helps the dynamic range, kind of similar to what you would see in like an iPhone or a smartphone. It helps very bright outside shots where there are a lot of shadows, just kind of balances the overall image, and also pure shot, which helps low light performance. Here's a shot of my hotel room at night, kind of lit up with the city in the background. There's a lot of denoising going on to really improve the quality of this. One of the issues with this camera, which is the same issue on the Ace Pro, it's the same issue with a lot of action cameras, is the close focus distance. Now, with these cameras, they're essentially set to infinity. They're not pulling focus, they're not changing focus at all. It's a wide camera, so your focus plane is deep, but you can only get so close until your face starts to get a little bit fuzzy. You most likely won't have too many issues with this. You can see here, this is kind of the standard frame that I'm using when I'm vlogging. This is basically where everyone is going to kind of live at frame-wise. I don't know why I didn't take that clip off my head, I'm sorry. You should be fine, but if you are trying to get close-up shots, that's where you might run into some issues. Another thing I don't like, let's just talk about it while we're on the subject, it's the mounting option. Their mounting option, honestly, it's great. The way it clips in, it magnetizes, but none of their mounting points are universal across all of their cameras. Obviously, this makes sense that it would be different because it's a different size, but like throughout almost every Insta360 camera, it's all different mounting. So there's nothing universal. You can't like reuse the mounting clips and stuff. So that's kind of a bummer because at this point I feel like it all should be pretty universal, so you can just swap all of these out and use your existing accessories. That's one thing I noticed right away when I tried to use an accessory from the Ace Pro on this and it didn't work. The main accessories that I was using is the hat clip. You clip this onto the bill of your hat and you're good to go there. And then I also use the pendant here, and then it just connects right to the front of your chest. So these accessories are the ones that I use the most, that I found to be the most helpful. I think the pendant is what people mainly use, just because you can keep it tucked hidden under your shirt and then just throw the camera on. There's no shortage of Bluetooth accessories for this camera. We have obviously here this little tripod selfie thing that telescopes up, and it also has this wireless remote here, so you can either keep it clipped on, it's a magnetic clip onto the selfie pole, and you can start and stop your recording there. They also have this Bluetooth ring. Now, I truly am never probably gonna have a reason to ever use this, but I think if you are mounting this somewhere, maybe you're doing a lot of action cam stuff, we can keep the ring like this, hit record, and we can do that completely remote, so you don't have to touch the camera. So if your camera is super far away, you need to hit record, you just hit that and you're off to the races. I probably won't use it, but pretty cool if it's something that would be helpful for you. So yeah, overall, it has its quirks, it has things I like and I don't like, but I really do enjoy this camera. I love just having a camera that's easy to use, that I can grab a couple clips to use for these YouTube videos or Instagram, whatever it is, and this camera makes it really easy to do that. I want to thank Insta360 again for sending me this camera. I've really been enjoying it. If you're interested in picking up this camera for yourself, you can check out the links in my description. Again, do your own research when you're buying these cameras, but I hope this video was at least helpful for you. But that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.